going on? Bar Down Breakdown, the live stream edition. It's New Music Friday, and we got Mikey and Justin hanging out, breaking down all the new music that showed up on our Spotify release radar today. Super excited to check out some new music with my friend Justin. What's going on, dude?
I just want to let everyone know that Mikey yelled at me earlier because I chose too many songs, and that's just how good today's release radar was, or this week's release radar was. So, kudos to everybody for some awesome releases. You guys got me in trouble because I couldn't choose just two. So I feel bad for whoever didn't make my third cut, but we tried to add everybody in here. And I'm really excited for today's. I think we got a good lineup of bands. We got some great new music that was put out. Actually, a lot of really good music from alumni from the show, from the podcast, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what we got. And remember, like we haven't listened to any of these songs.
Nope.
We just picked the ones that we knew that we were gonna like because of the bands that we had on our release radar. So this is our first time listening to it. So I'm excited.
Dude, I was so by the book. Even when I added the Cera Palin song to my story, I made sure that my phone was on mute before I added it, and just blindly added a part of the song. I did not listen to a single note.
It was literally the hardest thing to literally not listen to some of these songs because I know some of them came out Wednesday, some of them came out yesterday, and then this morning too. I specifically did not put on my music playlist on Spotify. I just put on the daily news because I wasn't going to listen to any music till tonight, which was hard waiting over 13 hours to not listen to something.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And luckily, we brought back our pop punk playlist and kind of rebranded it to be emo adjacent. And I added last week's songs to that. So that's how I was able to get through my drive to work today, as I just put our playlist on. Because, yeah, the temptation was real. Also was able to listen to the full Never Home EP on Spotify for the first time today. I know that we had Nick from Never Home on last week, but it's kind of ballsy for Never Home to wait until literally release day to release, in my opinion, the best song on the EP. And
That's what you're supposed to do.
no, dude, I feel like everyone would have went with the feature from AJ from the Danger Summer. That's what every band would have done. But they
You know
held
what the
off.
crazy part is? And not only did they hold off, but Nick sent us the EP over a year ago. And that AJ Perdomo part was not on there. So talk about a fucking surprise listening to the AJ Perdomo feature, because we've had that EP for the longest time, and I did not have an AJ Perdomo feature on any of those songs that he sent me. So I don't know if I should be mad at Nick or if I should be happy at Nick for doing that.
Yeah, that was a complete surprise. You know who does that to me sometimes too? Is Tony Murphy. Tony Murphy will send me the Overthinker stuff and not the features, not with the song with the features, and then they'll come out on my release radar, and I hit him up. I'm like, yo, was that Darren from Brigades? Yo, was that Mark from Hungover? It's great.
And shout out to Tony Murphy and the guys at Overthinker. They're doing a quick weekend run with Fast Walker and Morimoto, I believe was the other band. So they are playing in Orlando, or they're playing Jacksonville tonight. I believe they're playing Orlando tomorrow night, and then South Florida on Sunday. So if you didn't get tickets to the Brave Weather Driveways show, because it is sold out,
Again?
head over. Yeah, it's sold out again. Head over to Will's Pub and go catch Overthinker. It's their first headliner show ever. They're going to be playing some amazing songs, new and old. So go support the local scene, and yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on. I'm not going to see Tony Murphy tomorrow, and I'm upset about that. But I'm going to go see my other Tony in Brave Weather.
Yeah, Orlando's got it going on tomorrow night. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
It's going to be a good night.
All right. Well, tonight's going to be a good night, man. Let's get
hell
right to
yeah.
it. So, this was your pick, and I know we name dropped this band when we were doing Winona Fighter, because it was just like reminded me of the band names, at least reminded me of each other. And that's Michael Cera Palin. I believe they're a Georgia band, maybe Atlanta band, but I know that they play Charlotte like all the time. They just headlined the Welcome to the Family Fest that was here in the fall at the Milestone. They just had a sick show at the Massapequa VFW on Long Island with Moose Creek Park and a few others. I think Jam Poetry also played that show. Just a sick band, and I haven't done a real deep dive in their full catalog, but I know that they have a new album coming out in March, and they just announced like a whole bunch of pre-orders for like some cool vinyls, and just announced that they're on a new label, which is called Brain Synthesizer, which is kind of a branch off of Counterintuitive Records. So pretty cool that they linked up with them. So yeah, I'm super excited. The song is Wisteria, and I have a love-hate relationship with Wisteria, like the actual plant, because I have a pergola in my backyard and planted Wisteria so that like eventually it would grow over the pergola and like look really pretty and everything. I knew nothing about Wisteria other than it was like this cool like purple hanging plant, and
it's a weed.
Dude, it is awful. Like such a weed, grows back so fast, and then never even like no flowers ever even bloomed. I had it planted for about 5 years, not a single flower bloomed. And then I looked it up after like 5 years of disappointment, and it says it could take up to 10 years for the flowers to bloom. So like total noob homeowner move by me, and I had to rip that up, and it took a whole entire weekend of me just like hacking away at this thing. But hopefully the Michael Cera Palin version's way better than what I had in my backyard.
For everyone who's joining, I want to invite you to the first ever episode of Botany Breakdown with your local green thumb, Mikey.
Yep. It's pretty pathetic, but I still somehow have kept my house from burning down, so I'm like 7 years in, so we're good.
It's going to be like Jumanji and just growing through your floorboards.
Dude, I'm not going to lie, and we're going to get to the song in just a second, but every couple of months, a little, like, Wisteria little sprout will come up, like, on its own. Like, even though I've ripped the roots out and everything, like, one will still come up, and I'll just, like, angrily rip it out. And one day I'm just going to forget, and it's going to come back. It truly is.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, hopefully this song keeps coming back on all your playlists.
All right, good transition, Justin. We'll get to that.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
It kind of looks like Nashville to me.
Doesn't it?
I like that little clicky guitar riff before it goes in.
Oh, how you darled me, though no cause for concern.
Nice harmonies, I like that.
Season you impart me, descending clovers that I yearn. A better step.
This hits so well.
Is lesser ends felt too. It's so much nicer being lost in you. Where my lips come unsealed. Where my head
I thought the chorus was about to come in. They got me.
how I know that you hear me.
drums are just so cool. Kind of like laser sounding to me.
Yeah, like off of like the Blue album.
My unwell shade of blue.
Their transitions are just so good.
How rich your soil. I still flinched at the roots. So sorry if I'm keeping you up. Kills me to see your eyes overflowing. Sorry if I'm keeping you up. It won't
Getting
be
like Motion City soundtrack vibes.
Yes.
sorry I've been keeping you up. Each waking hour must be more than you bargain time. Sorry I've been keeping
Like
you up.
screaming.
Just get bad as to be how your eyes remember me. New place, same old.
Just that bridge coming real smooth.
Split hair, split seams, split ends. New place, same old.
Very Evan Thomas Weiss with Into It Over It right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
The ways I've wished to love you, the ways that I've let go. When you say it like we used to, what can I say? Sorry I've been keeping you up.
Ooh, that build up.
Won't be the last time. Sorry I've been keeping you out. Just get past the pain. While your eyes should play less to Wisteria in bloom. Where do you grow off to? You say it's what you're used to. What I said, oh what I said.
Ooh, just ending it on that chord right there is nice and quick and dirty ending. I fucking love it.
yo, I really dug that. For some reason,
That yeah.
I thought they were more twinkly guitarish than that song had. And like, don't get me wrong, a good twinkly guitar Midwest emo is my bread and butter these days. But like, they're way more than just like twinkly guitars. Like there were so many different layers. There was at some points some dual vocals, and then the like screaming with the mic far away. Like that was
Yes.
so fucking cool.
It's just like it's that I think it's that mix of everything we grew up on. Like it's got a little bit of Weezer in there, like we said. It's got a little bit of Motion City soundtrack. It's got a little bit of Into It Over It sprinkled in there, and you can hear the influences embedded in the music. But the way that they wrote that song is just, I don't know. It just hit you could just start singing along to that chorus, like right on that second chorus. You already know the words because that's how catchy that chorus is.
Yeah, dude. I also could not stop picturing them playing that song at the Milestone because
Yes.
they pack it out whenever they play the Milestone, it's packed out, and I can already just picture the whole crowd just like vibing with it and just like totally rocking out. So I give that a 5 out of 5. That's something that I definitely will be putting on heavy rotation.
Yeah, that's going to be one on the playlist that's going to be getting repeated every time.
Yeah, and I like have been hearing that name for a while now, like Michael Cera
Mm-hmm.
Palin. However, I haven't done a deep dive, and I'm excited to go back and listen to it. It looks like it's been a while between releases too, so cool that we're getting the new version of some tunes, and putting out vinyl and being on a new label. So all good things for them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them start. Like they've been touring, but see them touring like more extensively because I remember I wanted to play a show with them up in Atlanta pre-pandemic, and we just weren't able to work it out. But they've been on my radar for a few years now, and this release is just going to be so good.
Yeah, Atlanta is one of those markets that a lot of bands down in Florida or like even the Carolinas want to get into, but it's hard because obviously for Florida, as they're making bands from Florida making their way out and they want to like play the Carolinas or play Philly or some of the better markets that are in the Northeast, that's a good kind of stepping stone market.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard for some bands to get in there.
Yeah, it's just a very competitive city because there's so many different music venues and there's so many things going on in Atlanta that you're almost competing with everything else. And if you're not already well connected in that scene, like you're not going to get that chance. Like you really have to prove yourself for that Atlanta scene to kind of bring you in on some of those tours. And it's just a really cool city just to go and play. Like I love the Masquerade. Smith's Old Bar is also great. They used to have a DIY venue a few years ago. I think it was called the Unicorn Room, which was also really cool. Um, but yeah, Atlanta's just like a truly special city when it comes to emo adjacent music.
Dude, I love that term, emo adjacent.
Emo adjacent.
It just literally everything that I listen to can fall into that category. And when we were talking with Christian McKnight, I never really put two and two together because, he was one of the main organizers for Adjacent Festival. And I was
Mm-hmm.
curious, like, what does that mean? Adjacent to, like, New York City? Because it was, like, at the Jersey Shore. But hearing his story and how it's, like, basically because it was emo adjacent, I was just like, ooh, that is such a cool term.
Yes, man, he was that entire episode was just really cool to hear too. So if you want to listen to a really awesome episode about the Long Island emo scene, go check out our episode with Christian McKnight on wherever you listen to podcasts.
Amen. Yeah, because we're not putting out new episodes of our hockey and music show. This is our rebranded kind of more music focused show. So if you want any of that hockey and music content, you have like 250 plus episodes to go back and listen to. So some of those episodes kind of slipped through the cracks, right? And that was a good one, like you mentioned, because
Mm-hmm.
Christian McKnight was a huge part of a lot of those Long Island bands in the early 2000s having a place to play and him putting on some of the sickest shows, truly.
Yeah, he just mentioned like two shows right off the bat, and I was like, those lineups are insane. Like you would never see. Like one of them was Census Fail opening up for The Used in My Chemical Romance. Like that stuff you'll never see unless you go to When We Were Young or some other emo adjacent festival.
Exactly. Cool, man. Well, yeah, let's get to the next track. This is actually two former guests of Bar Down Breakdown make up Narrowcast. So super excited that they also have an upcoming album coming out
Mm-hmm.
just at the end of the month. So only a couple of weeks, and we have a new Narrowcast album. Ella and Matt were on the show before. Gage, who's also in Narrowcast, is part of Never Home, who are good friends of ours as well. So the connections are deep. And then also Narrowcast, half of its headquarters are here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So it's kind of a nice little local plug as well.
Mm-hmm.
So super excited to check this track out. It's called Handful of Teeth off their upcoming album, which is actually coming out on Smart Punk. had no idea that they were linked up with Smart Punk, so super cool about that too.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that one, and I'm excited to go pick it up at the Smart Punk store or online shop now. So I can't wait for that release.
Yeah, and you did when Narrowcast was first kind of getting out there, you did a little behind the scenes work helping with some social media stuff as well.
That was the hardest secret I've ever had to keep, was that EP, because that first EP was so good, and I'm just really excited that they're putting out new music. They put out a couple of hardcore, like acoustic covers of hardcore songs in a very different format, which was awesome because it was a very like unique format of what they did. But I'm so excited that they're putting out new music again.
Amen. I really just want them to play some more shows here in Charlotte. There's only been a handful, and I haven't been able to catch any of them yet. So hopefully with the new album, they'll play the Charlotte scene a little bit.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Matt has a hardcore project that he just put out too. I can't remember what the name is, but it's dad centric. So, Matt, if you see this, just comment the name of your new project, because it is so sick.
Amen. All right, so yeah, let's get to it. This is Narrowcast, Handful of Teeth. Right off the bat, this day and age.
Yeah. And Ella's vocals that we all grew up to.
Oh my god, so good. So many cool ambient sounds. Loving it. May a little bit, like all of that early 2000s, just indie. I'm loving it.
I love how like that's like a big part of Narrowcast too, is the driving drum in the songs. Like it just makes it so cool, like layered. They just don't miss.
Yo, I love
like
that.
They just put hits after hits after hits out, man.
I really love that. That was so good. I'm a fan, and like you mentioned, you know, it's Ella's voice we grew up loving, and hearing it not kind of over pop punk music, but over kind of that indie, like I said, like this day and age, May sounding music, even Copeland a little bit. It fits really well.
Yeah. I think you hit the mark with Copeland. Like it feels like I'm listening to, a Copeland-esque song, but it just feels, I don't know, it just feels just almost better. I'm not saying that because this band has a real special place with me, but I just seriously, anything Ella and Matt put out, like they've been putting music out together for like 15 years now, it just hits. Every single song that they do is just phenomenal.
Yeah, man, I agree. That was very enjoying. I enjoyed every second of that, and I'm excited for the full album. Honestly, if the rest of the album's like that, that's a good like driving in the rain album.
Yeah, that's a good like winter, early spring like album, like March, April when it's like pouring down rain down here. It's just like it's almost like a sad song, but it's like almost cheerful at the same time.
Yeah. So Ella or Matt or Gage, if you tune into this, let's get some Charlotte shows going because I need to see that live. That was killer. That was Narrowcast, Handful of Teeth, off their upcoming album that's coming out at the end of the month, January 31st on Smart Punk Records. So very excited that we got a full album. Kind of like surprise, here's an album.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they kept that one close to the chest, and I know like Narrowcast played a couple shows, but also, kudos to Matt Burns and the team over at Smart Punk for picking this one up, because this is going to be a huge addition to that already stacked roster.
Amen. Yeah. Smart Punk's the best. They really are.
Mm-hmm. I love those guys.
But yeah, I'm firing up the next track. And once again, we got an alumni of Bar Down Breakdown with this one. We got Sink In, Everglow. And the cool thing is, they're out in LA. Well, they're kind of LA, but also have some ties to like the PA area as well. But, in the 2010s, when pop punk was really on a resurgence, there was a lot of killer Canadian pop punk that would, Pacific and Baron, like that was really just blowing up. Seaway. And if you looked at who recorded like all of those killer Canadian bands, who would it be?
Sam Kayana.
Yep.
And he's down in Nashville now.
I thought he moved to LA. He is in Nashville?
I think he's in Nashville. I feel like Anton moved to LA, but I could be mixed up.
Well, yeah, they were it was kind of like the Andrew Wade situation and down at Audio Compound,
and Andy
right?
K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy K. So yeah, you're right. I think one did go Nashville and one went LA. But yeah. Oh, he's in LA. There you go. So I was right.
Oh yeah. Who posted that one?
Sink In right there in the comments and over on YouTube.
Oh hell yeah! I gotta go over to the YouTube.
But yeah, once I saw that Sam had his hand in producing this, I got super duper excited. So you ready?
It's another thing. Everything he touches is just gold. So hit this one, because this was, if you didn't pick this one, I was gonna pick this one.
Amen. All right, let's do it.
All but over, all I know is what a sin, never finding closure.
Those lyrics sounded like boy bandish, like love it.
Yes.
When we find the end of the road, that's a dream died.
Yeah. Ty's voice, man.
So good.
Don't let go of the Everglow, 'cause I know what we're
Just breaking it down.
Don't let go of the Everglow.
That's like Nick Carter right there, man.
Soul left in me, yeah.
If Nick Carter was in a killer like easy core band.
Another band that does not miss.
Yeah, that might be my favorite Sink In song. And like you said,
Yeah.
they have so many bangers, but that was killer. Vocals on point. And I'm not trying to like throw any shade when I say like I'm hearing some like early 90s, mid 90s boy band vocals. Like that's so killer.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like it's so cool because I remember playing with Sink In with one of my old bands at like a rundown biker bar in Orlando, and just hearing them then, which was probably like 2013, 2014, and hearing them now is just like it's so like inspiring and refreshing that they're like putting out bangers after bangers, and it's just they're just so good, man.
Yeah. That was top notch. And I'm not sure if that's like off an upcoming album. If you boys are still in the chat, are we getting an album, or is this just a single to hold us over? But either way, I loved it. That was a banger.
We'll see. We'll see if they post anything in there. It really reminds me of like they don't like. I don't normally like to. Oh, they're working on some more stuff with Sam Guyana. Nice.
Oh boy.
It's just so refreshing to hear that because I feel like the we don't hear a lot of like that pop style vocal in this style of music. Like the last band we really had it with was Issues with Tyler Carter, and unfortunately, like all that stuff happened to Tyler Carter, and no, we can't really say on YouTube, but yeah, it's refreshing to hear that because it brings a whole dynamic that like value to the overall vocals of the song, and it adds so much character. So I'm stoked that you guys are putting out new stuff.
Amen. But yeah, we're cruising along. You see what happens when Tom's not here?
I know, but he
Just
would have landed us a whole thesis on that song, man. He would have been like, oh, it reminds me of like Nick Lachey and like 98 Degrees when they put out this album right before he got married to Jessica Simpson. You're like, whoa, Tom, how do you know all this stuff? He's like, I watch a lot of TV, man.
True that. Tom, we miss you. But
I really do miss him.
Hopefully he'll be back for the next week. But yeah, that was Sink In, Everglow. Apparently, according to the chat, we got some new music coming shortly from them. Also, they're out in LA, so our thoughts and prayers go out to you guys. Hopefully, you were able to avoid the craziness that's going on with the wildfires, and so many of our friends have been affected by that, and our thoughts are with you. It's just so unfortunate and so terrible, and seeing footage from LA is just heartbreaking. So we're thinking of you. And I just saw state champs, actually not just state champs, like so many bands have come
Yeah.
out to support each other. But state champs, I just saw today, they have like a LA Dodgers rip where 100% of the proceeds are going to help victims. Violent Gentleman has a whole line to go support the firemen and firewomen out in LA, and there's just a lot of good that's coming from this, from our music community. And if you're in a position, please go pick up one of those items I just mentioned, or find some. I think I even saw today one of the guys from Sugar Cult lost everything. So there's a bunch of GoFundMe's floating around that you can help out if you're in a position to do so.
Yeah. And honestly, the stuff from Violent Gentlemen, like when they did the shirts for the Australia fires, when they did, the Humboldt shirts for the team that got into the bus accident, like they make such amazing products, and they really do support the music and hockey community. So go check them out. Go purchase stuff from them, or even just give them a share. Like share the post if you can find it. They're an amazing group of people, sponsors of 2 years of Bard on Breakfest, and we love to have them on the show.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, sink in Everglow, totally sick. We're about halfway through our release radar, but we got a band that I think might be a new one for you. I know as we were going back and forth getting ready for today's episode, I did mention the name flat out to you, but I don't think you were too well versed on them. But that's our friend Joe Acuti, who has been on this podcast like 3 or 4 times at this point, and just a real homie. And you might recognize him from Ice Nine Kills, but this project sounds nothing like Ice Nine Kills. It is just like I don't want to say like the Machine Gun Kelly sounding version of pop punk, but definitely in that world. Just good, fun pop punk. And they're on tour right now. I think they actually left today or maybe yesterday with TX2, who you said you were familiar with. I had no idea who they were, but you said they were pretty huge. So excited that they
have a huge social media following. So yeah, they're I think TX2 is pretty much all over most social media. You've probably seen them just pop up on your feed, but yeah, go support them if you can. Like we said, Joe's been on the podcast 3 or 4 times, and I'm stoked to hear this band because you told me specifically not to listen to them all week.
Yeah, and obviously Joe's other band, Ice Nine Kills, is freaking. Actually, speaking of the wildfires and how bands are coming together, Ice Nine Kills alone released a shirt that raised over $100,000.
That's incredible.
They're just killing it right now. Like playing with Metallica. Like, what the heck? So happy for them. And like Joe's the coolest dude, so super excited for that. And obviously his new project's killing it too, man. Like they've only put out a handful of songs and already have over 10,000 monthly streams, and it just keeps going up every time I look. So they're blowing up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, you forgot Metallica and Limp Bizkit.
That's so
it's
wild.
Both of them. You have to include the Biscuit on that one.
But like, let's be real. Ice Nine Kills has been playing like really killer sick shows. But yeah, I'm sure if they go home and they tell like their mom or dad, like, hey, this is who we're going on tour with, they're probably like, oh, you're still in a band. But like, you go home and you say, yeah, I'm playing with Metallica and Limp Bizkit. It's like, oh crap, like my son is actually doing it.
Yeah, those are radio bands.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And
It's just I remember when Metallica announced it, I was like, really? And it's just so crazy to just think of them on a stage that big and what the antics that they're going to do on that stage.
well, that's the thing. When I saw Ice Nine Kills open for or co-headline with Fallen in Reverse, I was blown away by just all the theatrical stuff that they put into the show. It's not just them playing music. It was truly like watching a horror film for each song. Like there's props and things, and they're doing outfit changes mid set. Like so cool.
It's a full Broadway play in
It
a
re-
metal band.
It really is. And looking around the crowd that night was the most diverse group of people I've ever seen at an emo adjacent show in my entire life.
Yeah, 'cause it's the amount of the bands that they play with and the fans that they're able to get in front of. It's just cool seeing like a huge diverse crowd like that.
Yep, I agree. But yeah, this is Joe's project Flat Out, and this is their track Last One.
Can you feel my heart? It's racing. I've been feeling it more when I'm with you. So tell me what you need, I swear I'll follow through. We get drunk and sober up. You want it all, but not enough. I've been feeling it more when I'm with you. So tell me what you need, you know what I can do. If you wanna be the last one, let me know. I keep hanging on until you let me go. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I won't delay. 'Cause every time you turn around, I fall apart. Looking back, I think
Neon pop punk revival.
Yeah.
say the things you
Nailed
wanna
it.
say. I swear I will not hesitate.
Is that the recorder? They should just whip that out. Just
Man,
to record
can you
it.
imagine?
She said, take me for a ride. I don't wanna be inside. Let's go somewhere new that no one else can find. We can drive until the car breaks
Dude, you know I'm
down.
sucking
Gas
for
runs
dual
out.
vocals.
We'll drop it on
They're so good.
I wonder if I'm really gonna miss you. The summer's gonna feel I've gotta cling to. All I'm leaving everything we've been through. If you wanna be the last one, let me know. I keep hanging on until you let me go. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I won't delay. 'Cause every time you turn around, I fall apart. Looking back, I think you burned us from the start. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I will not hesitate.
Gotta throw that guitar solo in there.
Underwater.
Drown it in the reverb. It's so sick though, just shredding.
If you wanna be the last one, let me know. I keep hanging on until you let me go. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I won't delay. 'Cause every time you turn around, I fall apart. Looking back, I think you burned us from the start. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I will not hesitate. If you wanna be the last one, if you wanna be the last one, keep hanging on until you keep hanging on until you. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I won't delay. 'Cause every time you turn around, 'cause every time it's apart. Looking back, I think you burned us from the start. Just say the things you wanna say. I swear I will not hesitate.
Nothing hits harder than a halftime chorus. So good.
Dude, I don't think I could like top a comment that you made because you nailed it. Like the neon pop punk revival. Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what that was. Like, enough time has passed that now it could come back, right? Because that was
Did you ever think we were going to get that back?
No, like that's like forever the sickest kids and like early all time low
Metro
and
Station,
Metro Station, the Secret
The
Handshake.
Main.
Yeah, like all of those bands from 2006, 2007, 2008. That was that. And
Yeah.
it's not like they're just like because obviously when all of those bands were coming out, it just like seemed like they were just all copying each other. They were all doing the same thing. But like almost 20 years has passed since the like neon pop punk stage.
Like you kind of hear glimpses of it in current pop punk, especially like if you're looking, on different social media apps, because that's really where a lot of these bands live. But they're so dynamic in everything that they do, like especially with flat out, like you never hear a guitar solo getting ripped like that. And then even just listening to the instruments that they have in there too, like it's not like they had the recorder in there, but then they had synth and they had live guitar and the bass and the drums were just driving the song the whole time. It was just that. I know Joe produces, but whoever produced that song, if it was you, Joe, that is phenomenal. You put that together, it was just awesome how that was put together, and it brought back like those memories of neon pop punk.
Yeah. And I never really got into that neon pop punk stage because it was when I was in college, and I don't know, when you're in college, you just go through like a indie stage of your life. And
yeah,
I was listening to a lot of indie music. I would say like Copeland was heavy rotation. Lydia, like those bands. So I was kind of like, oh, this is what pop punk sounds like now. Like, oh, like this isn't what I remember. Like the starting line is pop punk, not that. And then I appreciate it now. Like that's just fun music. And when I went to the last Warped Tour, and like you mentioned, the Main kind of fits in that category. And I always wrote the Main off, and watching their performance and watching like people that were probably 5 years younger than me, but were still like adults at this point. Like they were still like old. So in the Main, I was just happened to be older, and seeing how jacked up they were for the Main was so cool. And I was like, I felt like I was missing something. I was like, I should like this band because this band is sick, but I missed it. And maybe I should go back and just give the Main a chance. But yeah, like those type of bands were never really on heavy rotation for me. But
yeah, because you were being too cool for school in the upstate New York winters, just listening to Copeland and being sad all the time.
Honestly,
you couldn't enjoy the serotonin boost that was Metro Station and neon pop punk.
Yeah, true that.
Sometimes you just gotta shake it.
But yeah, that was killer. Flat out, last one, a fun song, dual vocals, something you can move to, and I think that's going to be very current. I feel like that's going to be the trend in pop punk moving forward a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all here for it.
All right. Well, we got 2 left. We're getting close. This has been a ton of fun, man. Like, honestly, every single song we listened to so far is just killer. So, can't wait to add them to our playlist so I can keep listening to them.
Yeah, you don't have any curveballs today. Like, you haven't gotten any curveballs.
No, because Tom didn't give us any of his songs. Like, if Tom did that shit on purpose, man. Like the Japanese breakfast, I'll say it again. Like the song is fine. The girl has a beautiful voice, but like not the vibe of the show that we were trying.
It's such a sad song, but it's so good. But it was just so funny just seeing you react to it live. It was just great.
Yeah. Tom. But yeah, this one I already know is going to be sick because you introduced me to Anxious a couple of weeks ago, and seeing that they got a new album coming out in February that this will be on. Run for Cover, like, obviously so many sick bands on there. Anxious is kind of adjacent to a lot of the cool shit that's coming out of Long Island, you know, playing with Inner Love. They kind of fit into that like Standstill, Koyo kind of world, which is
a little bit of hardcore, a little bit of pop, a little bit of indie.
Yeah, they're killer, and I believe they're on or heading out on their first headliner. So
they're not coming to Orlando. I'm upset about that.
Oh no.
But I will put this caveat out there. I promise that I will not have another Anxious song on this show. But let me just say the reason why it's been on every single episode almost, or 2 out of 3 episodes, is because it's that good. Like, they just put out great music. So if you don't know who I'm talking about, go to Spotify, pull up Anxious, and listen to them. They're one of my favorite bands right now.
Yeah. They're killer. And you said they're out of Connecticut, right?
Yep. Yeah, they're out of Connecticut. I think they're closer to the New England side of Connecticut than the New York side of Connecticut, which are like 2 different Connecticuts from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Connecticut could be one of those states that takes like 4 hours to drive across when it really should only take like 45 minutes because of just how bad traffic on 95 is.
I never want to get stuck in traffic trying to go pick up the crease roll ever again in Connecticut.
That is actually where it happened. I remember.
That was a miserable time. I love you, Kyle, but that drive was awful.
Touche. All right. Well, yeah, let's do it. This is Anxious Some Girls off their upcoming album Bambi, which will be out February 21st on Run for Cover Records. Let's do it.
I can't wait. You got those harmonies coming in.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I hate to mention it again, but like vocally sounds a little like Aaron Marsh.
Yeah.
Aaron Marsh like sped up a little bit.
On like 1.5.
Yeah.
Screaming in the background.
Yep.
That guitar slowly creeping up on you.
Those guitar tones sound like a Goldblum sound.
Yep.
Dude,
I'm telling
that's
you,
that's a cool one, man.
they weren't on my top 5 for Spotify rap for no reason. Like there's just like from Little Greenhouse to Bambi, like just the dynamic change, and it almost kind of reminds me of like I don't want to compare them, but like almost like how sonically different their older stuff is compared to their new stuff. It's almost very much like Turnover, where you have like the older stuff being like very much more driven, and you can kind of hear that transition a little bit in Magnolia. And then when they went into Peripheral Vision, it was just like this whole thing. Like Anxious is very close to doing that with their earlier stuff being a little bit more on kind of like the hardcore punk influenced going into this like pop, and they still keep that energy at every single show that they do. Like I just watched them for when they played with Inner Love and they did the Counting Sheep release show. Like the amount of energy that Garrett, the lead singer, I'm pretty sure that's his name, has and brings on stage, like, and he's just like, get up, get up, get up, bringing people on stage to sing songs. Like it's so inspiring seeing like a band like Anxious and Standstill and Moose Creek Park and Inner Love like doing like this style of music and keeping it as energetic as possible. So kudos to that entire Long Island Sound music scene, because that's what I'm going to call it now.
The Long Island Sound music scene.
Yeah, no, I was going to call it the Long Island Sound because that's just that whole Connecticut, Long Island area. That's what it is. Am I making a pun on the Long Island Sound? But yeah, that's the Long Island Sound.
I guess I could tie this to hockey, right? Because the Bridgeport minor league team for the Islanders did a rebrand, and now they go by the Bridgeport Islanders. But now, whenever they play any team on the road, that's always like the jab that they take at them. They're like, Bridgeport, not an island. But like, obviously, they don't realize that like Bridgeport is on the Long Island Sound, so like it does kind of make sense. But
Yeah.
I don't try to like argue with that, people here in Charlotte about that. But like,
They don't know what a sound is.
they don't.
They don't even have water in Charlotte. They just have a lake named Norman. It's a
Yeah.
ridiculous name for a lake.
But yeah, dude, we're almost there. We're up to our last track, but yeah, 5 for 5 tonight. All killer tracks off our release radar. All came out today. Um, super excited to just like listen to music with you. This is fun, and
Yeah.
obviously once Tom bounces back a little bit and he joins back in, I think this is going to be what I look forward to all week. So
I can't wait.
Keep the
like
new
his
music coming.
it's so funny because like I feel like I'm like the weird mixture between your release radar and his release radar. So it's just really cool, like seeing like what we all come up with and like seeing things that I know you would like and things that I know Tom would like, and then things I know that both of you would like. It's just really cool just having this experience together. So kudos for coming up with this idea, Mikey. This was awesome.
Amen. So yeah, to lead to the last track tonight, this is Gabe Woodrow, who you had the pleasure of playing Never Early Fest with up in the Baltimore, Maryland area. I believe he's from the Maryland or Baltimore area as well. And acoustic, like emo music, is one of the first entryways I had into like this emo adjacent world. And
Yeah, man. It all started with Dashboard.
yeah, honestly, that Dashboard MTV Unplugged was life changing. Like I remember just putting on MTV2 after school, maybe my freshman year. Maybe I was in 8th grade. It was either 8th grade or my freshman year, and seeing all these like college kids who knew every single word to these Dashboard confessional songs, and I had no idea who this guy was. And I was instantly like moved, and that was one of the first CDs that I bought in this like world, was that Dashboard Unplugged MTV CD. But then like the Spill Canvas and
Yeah.
like some of that acoustic emo music is my early entry. So seeing Gabe going back to the roots and doing some acoustic and like, you know, obviously Frank Turner does it really well as well. There's some other killer acoustic emo bands or emo artists. So yeah. And
it takes me back to loading up AOL and waiting for the AOL live sessions of whatever band that they were, Dashboard, just pulling up so I can listen to the song from Spider-Man 2.
Vindicated.
It was,
right?
I know it was Vindicated. Yeah, I remember putting that soundtrack on. I got that soundtrack just for that song, and then I bought the album it was on, and I was just still playing it.
But when I went to the song credits for Gabe's new song, one of the acoustic legends, even though there are also many full bands, and at this point you would consider them a full band, but some of the early November stuff, and
oh yeah,
the acoustic songs that they put out, and sure enough, Ace Enders produced this one.
Yeah, I think Gabe went over to, is it the Lumberyard? Is where Ace is at, I believe,
yeah.
or it's something that deals with wood. But like Historic Studio, the Wonder Years recorded there. Their acoustic albums, Keep Flying is recorded there. So yeah, it's just awesome seeing that influence of Ace Enders and everybody that he knows, for lack of a better pun name.
Touche. So yeah, let me get this fired up. But yeah, this is Gabe Woodrow, Hallways, produced by Ace Enders. More full band than I thought it was going to be.
It's so dark here. I still see your face in my nightmares, flooding my dreams like a river that I just can't keep dammed up. And that old place, the reeks of your perfume and mistakes, I just can't forgive you this time. And this is the last time. Won't you sing me to sleep with all the words from all our favorite songs? I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to move on just to come right back. And these always are beating me senseless. I don't want to live like this.
Right,
I don't want to be like that. I don't want to move on just to come right back.
And the harmonies, maybe.
That's got it. That's got it.
We're so fucked here. The hallways, they echo your voice, dear. Why can't I forget you? This sixth string is all that I've got to my name. Still you sing me to sleep with all the words from all our favorite songs. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to move on just to come right back. And these always are beating me senseless. I don't want to live like this. I don't want
See, you're gonna say that's Ace Enders singing the harmonies, and Gabe's gonna be like, "Oh, he is. Yeah, it is Ace." No, I didn't even see that. I was gonna be like, "Oh no." Gabe's gonna be like, "Oh no, man, that's me from years of singing early November songs in the shower and just hitting those high notes all the time."
That's cool, man.
Dan, you called it, man. That's awesome.
You getting Ace Enders to do your harmonies, man. Gabe, you're big time. I love it.
He's part of Ace Enders and everybody he knows now.
Yeah, man, I love acoustic rock, and I was really not expecting the full band and like just like the electric guitar throughout. So that was really cool and surprising. And then when you think about it, being an acoustic artist is pretty sweet too because you can play in so many more places than a normal
Anywhere.
right? Like anywhere.
Yeah.
Breweries and like you could just set up shop and do it. Like the amount of shows that you can do.
And also, what is going on with Maryland in general and putting out amazing just emo acoustic artists? Like, he goes, yeah, pretty much all my own, but this was the first. I had to have Ace. Of course, you had to have Ace Enders on a song. But speaking of the Maryland like acoustic emo scene, like you have Gabe Woodrow right now. You have Dan Thompson over with My Heart My Anchor, just absolutely slaying it, and it's just really cool seeing. I don't know, the state just south of Philly putting out Philly style music. Is just you can see the influence, and it's just really cool to see, and I love watching you guys play. So shout out if you see Gabe. I know he's going to be going on tour in the next few months. I don't know if he has announced it yet, but I guess I got the 411 on that one. But go check him if he comes by you on this maybe eventual tour that he's going to announce sometime soon. But I can't wait to see him again.
Amen. Have you ever listened to that Pure Noise artist, Corey Wells?
Yes.
Dude, that I when we were going through some like acoustic artists that we love, I don't know why I didn't think of Corey Wells, but man, Corey Wells is freaking awesome.
Gabe goes, shout out to Dan, My Heart, My Anchor. Gabe, we popped Dan on. So it was like a few years ago. Dan was on vacation down here in Orlando, and our alumni Bar Down Breakdown friends in Suck Brick Kid were doing their first EP release show, and they had a band drop, and we put My Heart, My Anchor on their first Orlando show just because they were on vacation and they had a guitar. So.
Oh,
I
man.
love My Heart, My Anchor. They opened our first show in the DC area when we were in Out of Time. It's just Dan has a very special place in my heart, and it's crazy what you guys are doing out there in Maryland.
But you just mentioned, Suck Brick Kid, and speaking of acoustic sets, that still was one of my favorite moments of year one of Bar Down Breakfast was having Suck Brick Kid do this like hybrid
Folk punk.
Yeah, folk punk acoustic set. That was so killer.
And they have an acoustic EP that's out too. They released it over I think it was 2021 they might have put it out. And it's so good. It's called Don't Eat the Bats. But it's all acoustic folk punk of all their best songs that they had out at the time. So yeah, go check out Suck Brick Kid and Smart Punk Records. Another smart punk record band that's just killing it.
Amen. Well, yeah, killer track from Gabe, produced by Ace Enders, and just that early 2000s acoustic pop punk and pop rock that a lot of us got started on. I know I mentioned this band to you before. My mouth is a speaker. They're from Ohio, and like I was like, I can't believe this band has like 26 monthly listeners. Like it doesn't make any damn sense. Like they haven't been around for like 10 years or so, but they the singer has started a more of an acoustic rock project called 86 Kid. That's freaking awesome as well. But can I go rogue for a moment?
You want to go rogue? I don't think we have any rules. It's episode 3, man.
Because there's a North Carolina band that I was considering adding for today, but the song didn't technically come out today, and I was being a real rule follower, and I was like, I don't know if I want to pick that one. It came out almost a month ago. It's new to me, so I've never listened to it, but I keep seeing this band's name pop up all over the Carolinas, and I want to just see your thoughts because I have no idea. Even I'm just going based on the bands that they've been playing with recently of what they might sound like, and it would be cool to have another sick kind of localish band to just keep in the family and keep giving them a shot to have a little glow up. And it's this band called Water Culture. Have you heard of them?
Nope, but you don't have to convince me to listen to more music.
But then when I went to their Spotify about me page, it mentioned Glassjaw and hold on.
Oh, what?
Yeah. That's why I was so interested. I was like, wait, what is this now? Because not many North Carolina bands are probably too familiar with Glassjaw.
No. I am. Well, I mean, they probably know of Head Automatica.
Yeah.
But anytime I hear a band that says that Glassjaw is one of their influences, I already know I'm going to like them because I already know that they're part of the very niche part of Long Island emo that understands oh, okay, you're an OG, you understand.
Yeah. So we're going to just add a 7th track and then we'll end this for tonight. But yeah, this is Water Culture, and the song is Sad Joints, and I literally know nothing other than they keep playing with some of my favorite bands in the Carolinas. That's all I know.
Blind listen.
Blind listen.
Yep.
That's a cool voice, man.
Yeah. You can hear that Glassjaw influence.
North Carolina, man. Oh my god. Yo, this is dope.
Harry Emery.
And he's doing both parts, right?
He's doing both.
Yeah.
Yes. That was so good. Like
Yeah.
I can't like Glassjaw, Emery, a little bit of like Alexis on Fire in there. Like I was not expecting that, and I'm so glad you broke your rule tonight because now I got something to listen to.
Yeah, like they're playing with that band Weymouth, which is like
Yeah,
the I think like where's that? It's kind of by like where Mike's brother lives in like
yeah, like the
Pinehurst.
Aberdeen
Y-
Pinehurst area.
Yeah. I saw that they were playing with them and I was like, like I wonder what they're like. And I am very, very happy that I decided to just throw that on. I literally was thinking about it before like I put up the post today because I saw that they had that new music video and I was like, oh, it's freaking been out for a month, like about a month, and I really wanted to stick with just music that came out today. But it's new to both of us, and
That's
that
so good. Like I want to see them play that live. Like because I
yes,
just feel like it's just gonna hit me with the nostalgia. Like it's just like I said, I got Emery vibes, I got Glassjaw vibes, I got like so many of these bands that I like listened to growing up, like, and it's so cool hearing that sound come back.
mm-hmm, yeah, Alexis on Fire, movements, pianos become the teeth. Yeah, all of that
Oh
makes
yes. That's I was trying to put my finger on. I'm like that vocal style is very familiar and it's very pianos. Like pianos become the teeth is a huge and I'm like I was like trying to put it like pinpoint it and I couldn't think of it to save my life. But yeah, they're like heavily influenced by pianos.
like that song should not only have 1,000 plays on YouTube. Come on. Like, there's so much good music out there. It just is so frustrating because that is so good. And it's just like, why do some bands just blow up and others don't? Like, why is this not
But
fair?
yeah, if I know I it's funny, I just saw Tony from the Den post about them because I think they're playing they're playing the show tonight with Weymouth, but I want to know like I just want to know where they're from in North Carolina because I can't find anything on there about if they're Raleigh, Winston-Salem. Like they played Hangar 1819, they played Charlotte, they've played Raleigh, they played pretty much all over North Carolina. Like I want to know where they're based at it because I need to see a show.
We'll figure that out. I'm
Yeah,
guessing like
I'm gonna,
if they're cool with Tony and the Den, maybe they're like Winston-Salem area.
yeah. They just followed me on Instagram, so I'm just gonna slide in their DMs real quick and be like, "Yo, where are you guys based out of?"
Amen. Yeah, we got to get Overthinker up here to play a show. So we got to keep the North Carolina sick locals on speed dial.
Yeah, how sick would that show be if we got Water Culture and Overthinker to play? Like that'd be so good.
Yeah, I agree. And now that I think about it, um, I think one of the members from Water Culture was in a Raleigh band. So maybe they are Raleigh. That they did this like water benefit here in Charlotte, and Frontside played it, and Condado played it as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're playing Kings tonight, or they just played Kings in Raleigh. So yeah, that makes sense.
Amen. Well, Justin, episode 3, we did it. Well, really,
Man,
episode 2. Episode 1 was just us seeing
That was
if
the
we can even-
pilot.
seeing if we can even do something like this. But yeah, I love just discovering new music and listening to new music and doing it with someone else. And, you know, obviously you and Tom have played music
Yeah.
your whole life. So, like, you could definitely break things down better than I can. But I feel like I got a pretty good ear.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But I guess we'll wrap this one up. Thanks for tuning in, Gabe. Thanks for hanging. See him in the chat. Have fun at work tomorrow. And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
See you guys.